You might have heard yesterday that your water bill is set to increase by about £10 a month from April. I want to talk a bit about why this is happening, why it shouldn't be happening, and what we can do about it. So, yesterday, it was announced that water bills will increase, and we're being told that this has to happen because we need investment in the infrastructure, because of course, there is lots of sewage flowing in our rivers and seas that shouldn't be there. We have pipes leaking out water. Money needs to go in. And so, of course, someone has to pay for it. Yes, that is true. But what they won't tell you is that it would be much, much cheaper if water was publicly owned. So 90% of the world runs water in public ownership. But here in England, we decided to sell off our water. So in 1989, our water was privatised by Margaret Thatcher. Water is a natural monopoly, there is no competition, there is no market. So this was a crazy thing to do. And we were told that prices would be lower and services would be better. But of course, the opposite has happened. The privatised water companies started out with zero debt. The government wiped out their debt before they began. And they've now racked up a debt mountain of around £69 billion. And we pay for that debt. So 35p in every pound of your water bill goes to paying the debt, the interest on the debt, and also shareholder dividends. So over a third of your bill is being spent on a privatisation tax. And that is the cost of the dividends flowing out to shareholders and the very expensive debt that these companies have racked up at your expense. And they've been able to rack up that debt at your expense because water is a natural monopoly. And we are effectively the revenue stream, the customers, the households who have nowhere else to go, and they know that they have us over a barrel. So what they've been doing for the past 35 years is racking up debt, using that debt to fund excessive dividend payments, and failing to invest. Investment has actually gone down since privatisation, according to the Financial Times. So they've not been investing. The infrastructure is creaking. They haven't built a single reservoir. And in the past few years, people have started to realise that there is sewage in our rivers, raw sewage, that there is sewage in our seas, that tourist towns are being damaged because the beaches are too dirty to swim in, that we can't enjoy the nature in our communities because our rivers are full of crap. And that issue is getting attention because of really brilliant anti-sewage campaigning. Fergal Sharkey, Windrush Against Sewage Pollution, SOS Whitstable, Save Windermere, river action groups around the country, Surfers Against Sewage. And so attention is now being brought to this issue, and people are horrified, understandably, that sewage is in our rivers and seas. And so the water companies are recognising that investment needs to happen, but they've wasted all our money. So over the past 35 years, as well as racking up that debt mountain, they have given out £78 billion to shareholders. And by the way, at least 70% of these shareholders are abroad. So they are in China, Australia, the Middle East, Canada. So this money is flowing out of the country instead of being reinvested into the infrastructure to fix leaks, to stop sewage. So the water companies are saying, oh, okay, well, we've taken all your money and now you want us to actually invest. Now you want us to actually clean up sewage. Well, that's going to cost more money. If you think this is wrong, write to your MP and tell them so. Tell them that you understand that privatised water makes absolutely no sense, that we are being ripped off. And if you are in the Thames water area or if you are close to London, you can join us on Monday, the 3rd of February, outside the High Court, where we will be protesting against the planned bailout of Thames Water. Because Thames Water is the worst example of the privatised water companies. It has racked up a debt mountain, it is financially insolvent, and now it wants households in the Thames Water region to bail it out with an extra £3 billion worth of debt. And that debt will mean an extra £250 on the water bill of every household in the Thames Water region. That's a complete scandal. So we're going to be outside the High Court on Monday, the 3rd of February at 11 a.m, saying no to that bailout. So the question is, do we want Thames Water run for a handful of shareholders and creditors, or do we want it run for the benefit of households and the environment, with households, the environment and workers sitting on the board of Thames Water to hold the company to account? That is what the government could deliver if they were willing. And if they're too cosy with the water industry to understand what the options are, we need to be in their faces telling them what those options are. So please join us on Monday, and I hope to see you there.